always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Jessica, and I'll be sharing some of the top entertainment news that you just need to know right now. And friends, when I tell you we have quite the show for you today, a lot has been happening in the entertainment world. I cannot wait to share that with you. But before that, I hope that everyone has had a fantastic week. I can't believe that we're already heading into the weekend. I am officially full on into fall. If you've been listening to the last few episodes, I've been kind of hesitant about summer ending and fall beginning, but you know what? I had that sip of that pumpkin cold brew cream goodness, and I'm here for it. Like, I am ready. I have made some fall decor purchases. I have been partaking in fall-themed arts and crafts. I am committed and I am ready. You know, this happens to me every year. I push against it. I want nothing to do with it. But then I just have that one beautiful Starbucks concoction and I'm ready. So the weather has kind of been a little fall themed with some rain, and it's been wet, but it's still been muggy. So because of the rain, I have been staying in, obviously, and reading a lot. I have an iPad and I have just been downloading all the books when they go on sale. I am just finishing Such a Fun Age. I hope to finish it in like the next day or two. I'm finding that like current fiction isn't really my genre. The book is by no means bad. I am enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. I am not living for the whole like texting dialogue. You know, we text every day of life, and I'm finding that when I read as a form of escapism. So I don't like reading things that take place in present day. So I am definitely drawn more to like period pieces. World War II fiction, I think I've mentioned before, is something that I never thought I would get into, but here I am. So I'm probably going to read a World War II fiction next. But anyway, there's a lot to discuss. I'm not going to bore you with books or what's going on in my life because not a lot is going on in my life. I do want to disclose really quick before we get into it that you might hear some special guests on today's episode. I am joined today with Nora and Wilson, my two little puppies, doggies of love. They have been very vocal the entire day, and you know, a lot of people are out and about, and so when they see people, they chirp a little bit. So I'm really hoping that they kind of keep quiet while I record today. My husband isn't around to distract them, so it is just little old me. I'll do the best I can, but if you hear them, they're just trying to say hello. They would like some airtime. So if you hear them, say hello back. Anyway, guys, I do not want to waste any more time on this intro because we have a lot of news to cover in this episode. So let's just, you know what? Let's dive in head first, shall we? So of course, we have to start with the biggest news of the week in the world of entertainment and reality TV. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is coming to an end. Kim was the first to announce on her Instagram account, followed by Khloe Kardashian and momager Kris Jenner. Notably absent, Kourtney Kardashian. You know what? Maybe she was just a little too busy with her glorified Tumblr account, Poosh. I mean, you never know. Actually, you know what? I stand corrected. I take that back. She actually did share something on her Instagram story about how she is waiting to share how she really feels. Oh, after 14 years and 20 seasons, the show's final episodes will air in the start of next year of 2021. Guys, this announcement came out of nowhere. I signed on to Instagram and I was shook. I honestly thought it was a joke for a second. I jumped to the end of the statement, like looking for a JK, but there was no JK. This is all real. This is all true. Guys, this is the end of an era. This is the gold standard of reality TV, and they did what nobody else could do. Guys, I am so shocked. I mean, I want to say I'm shocked, but then like a part of me isn't. I mean, we know like the past season, Courtney didn't even want to show up for filming. It was hard to like wrangle everyone together. It was basically like Kim and Chloe really just stepping up and doing everything for everyone as far as being in front of the camera. I have really mixed emotions about that. I understand that someone like Courtney, she just wants to be a mom, but it's so hard to say, right? So like based off of what she chooses to show to the public, it doesn't look like that is her priority, is being a mom. You know, she's hanging out with Addison Rae. Like she's still kind of thirsty. So I don't understand why she wouldn't want to like feed into the mothership that really brings her an income. I'm curious to see how much Poosh brings in. I'm sure she has like a bajillion dollars. Not seriously, but you know, I'm sure she has enough money to maintain her lifestyle. But she just strikes me as a sister where every penny counts. But I'm just very confused about that. And I understand that like Kylie and Kendall aren't really interested in doing the show. I know obviously Kylie has her own thing going on. She doesn't need the show. But I come from the mentality of you wouldn't have anything if it weren't for the show. So you should just show up for 4 hours a day and just film and just like show your life. I mean, your mother pretty much has final say on what shows on the screen. So who really cares? So mixed emotions about all of that. In 2015, the family signed a $100 million deal for 4 more years of programming. And of course, so that money was impressive for 2015, but is that the same kind of money that they would get now, right? So television is just completely changing, right? People don't watch live television anymore. I mean, at least I don't. So I understand that the ratings for Keeping Up with the Kardashians was plummeting and they were very, very low. But like I said, I think it's because that's not how people watch TV anymore. When I watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, for example, I generally wait for the whole season to go on Hulu. And I will just binge watch it because that's what I love to do. I love binge watching. And I think a lot of people like to binge watch. Binge watching is kind of the new normal. Waiting a week isn't as fun anymore. I think the only show that really gets away with it is The Bachelor and the Real Housewives franchise. But, you know, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, that's definitely something that you could air in like one lump sum and have everyone binge. So that $100 million deal from E, like maybe they just can't afford the Kardashians anymore. They all don't need the show anymore. Of course, I keep saying the mothership because that's what they would call it. But, you know, I'm just trying to find the right words because I want to articulate this correctly. But if E can't really afford them, maybe Netflix can. So, I mean, I just reported on Netflix and the deal with Harry and Meghan. I mean, who knows? Is there a deal in the works with the sisters or with a particular sister or member of the family where it's more lucrative somewhere else as opposed to E? E, as we've talked about, is having a lot of trouble with maintaining programming. I mean, they've gotten rid of E! News. So that's shocking. And now they've lost the Kardashians. You know, love the Kardashians or hate them, they unmistakably changed the entire celebrity ecosystem. And this cancellation is likely not a retirement from the public eye for the Kardashians, but a statement, like I said, that they no longer need television or, you know, classic TV as it used to be. So I'm very excited for the sisters. I am very excited that they can kind of take a break and a breather. I am going to miss kind of seeing their side of the story. They were always very good at whenever they would be mentioned in the media of kind of keeping their mouths shut and then letting everything unfold on TV and then explain how it happens or explain what actually went down. But, you know, there's so many reasons. Again, there could be so many things. Like, I can't imagine Kim, who's trying to be a lawyer and then is married to Kanye West and holding down the fort with her children. It's probably just so much. I will say I am going to miss Scott Disick so much. I mean, he has been a staple to the show. We loved him. We hated him. We loved him. We hated him. Then we loved him again. And honestly, he wouldn't be the figure that he is today without the show. Because if they didn't have him on the show, if Courtney dumped him earlier, if they didn't have kids, he couldn't redeem himself with any sort of statement or how he would show himself on Instagram. He really needed the show. And you could tell, definitely appreciated it. I think Scott loves the show. He appreciates every moment. He appreciates everything the show has given him. I think he appreciates it more than some of the sisters. That's how I feel. And that's what it looks like. So anyway, I hope everyone in the Kardashian-Jenner family, I hope they are happy. Take a breather, center yourself, figure out your next business move because I know it's coming. So it was just wild. It was such a crazy thing to see. I can't believe the show has come to an end after all of these years. So who knows? Who knows how we're going to keep up with the Kardashians in the future? So guys, like I said, big show today. I kind of didn't get a chance to tease it in the beginning. I was just so excited to talk about the Kardashians. But moving forward, we're going to talk about Bravo. There's a lot going on with the Real Housewives franchise. We're going to talk Beverly Hills. We're going to talk Salt Lake City. And then afterwards, I am going to get into some just happy couple news. You know, I just want the show to be pretty lighthearted. I want it to be fun. So, especially after with the devastating news of the Kardashians being over, I'm going to end with some happy news. And then in the spirit of the Kardashians, at the end of the episode, I will be rating my favorite of the Kardashian-Jenner clan. There is a definite rating and no shade. It's all fun, but it's a fun little list, and see if you agree with me in the order that I put them in. So guys, stay tuned. We will be right back.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's GSMCpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back, friends. I hope that we're all recovering from the shocking news about the Kardashians, but probably by the time you hear this, it is not the most shocking news. I just couldn't not talk about it, But next up, bravo, effing bravo. Denise Richards is saying goodbye to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after 2 seasons on the show. The last season largely centered on the drama surrounding Richards, including her being upset that the topic of threesomes was brought up by her fellow housewives at her family barbecue where her children were present. The women accused Richards of, quote, mom shaming after she admitted she didn't feel comfortable bringing her daughters around the group after the incident in her Malibu home. The other housewives felt that Richards' outrage, oh, that's a tongue twister, was quite hypocritical considering her vocal openness about sex. If we all remember on her first season, season 9, she took her husband to a massage parlor for a happy ending. She was very open about sex. Now all of a sudden she's like, oop, mum's the word. So, of course the women would think it would be okay. So I'm team other women on this one. And then there was also the topic of her alleged affair with Brandi Glanville, which Richards has adamantly denied. Brandi later alleged this season that her and Denise had been gossiping about the other women, claiming that she said Teddy Mellencamp is, quote, pathetic and that Erica Girardi is a cold-hearted bee. Well, first of all, do not come after my girl Erica. I adore her. She is, all these housewives are pretty much my favorite. So they just kind of like Bob of who's my favorite of the day. And it'll change 28 times during an episode who my favorite is. But girl, back off of Erica. The drama has divided the Housewives fandom into very contentious groups. Many of the viewers are Team Denise. Others are Team Brandi. I stand firmly in the I think Brandi may be telling the truth, but I am absolutely horrified as to how thirsty she is and spilling Denise's business on camera. Girl, you're not a housewife. It is not your place. Keep quiet. No need. Absolutely no need. During part 1 of the 3-part Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, Denise expressed that she felt like a target this season, which Lisa Rinna, whom I also adore, refuted, saying that Richards was the one who was gaslighting the entire cast. Erica also vocalized her frustrations with Denise, saying that the star, set the tone for the barbecue, saying, quote, you sat down and opened with he still has a giant penis. That was the first thing out of your mouth at the barbecue with your own children sitting right there. It comes out of your mouth first. You set the tone. Great, we're having an adult conversation. The whole thing is really frustrating. I think she was trying to make us as a group look bad. It was the perfect setup. I agree with the queen, Erica. I really, really do. A lot of people are blaming Lisa Rinna and Kyle Richards for being mean girls about the entire situation and not dropping it. But if I had to, pick to quote, someone's a bad guy, it would still be Brandi at the end of all this by her just being a total thirst monster. I am hearing some rumblings, which I don't know are true or not, but they're just low rumblings out there that Kris Jenner could join the cast. How fun would that be? I don't think it's going to happen. It would be a total get if Bravo can get them. That would just be mind blowing. She's Kyle's friend. She's made an appearance on the show. Will it happen? Probably not, because she wouldn't have any control over what happens. She comes from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where she's the executive producer. She has, I'm sure, final say on what makes it onto the screen. There is no way that she is going to give up that sort of power to be on Real Housewives. But I wouldn't be mad if she was more of a, reoccurring member on the show. That would just be so fun, and I would get my little Kris Jenner fix. Oh, but anyway, so that is, what's happening. Denise is gone. She's gone. Very curious as to who is going to replace her. Again, could it be Kris Jenner? Could it not? But moving on to more Real Housewives news, we officially have the women for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City premieres on Wednesday, November 11th. During the season, we will get to know Lisa Barlow, Mary Cosby, Heather Gay, Meredith Marks, Whitney Rose, and Jen Shaw, 6 dynamic and successful women who belong to one of Salt Lake City's most exclusive social circles. Their backgrounds also include a spectrum of religious beliefs, including Mormon, Islamic, Jewish, and Pentecostal. The preview looks incredible. I am going to read off some of the bios as provided by BravoTV.com. So let's start with Lisa Barlow. She was born in New York. Lisa Barlow has been living in Utah for over 20 years. As the owner of a marketing company and various tequila brands, she considers herself Mormon 2.0, as she is not one to adhere to all of the traditional and strict Mormon rules. Lisa attended BYU with Heather and has been best friends with Meredith for years. Married to her husband, John, with 2 children, she seemingly has it all, but struggles with her quest for perfection when her unrealistic standards start impacting her friendships. Ooh, that sounds so good. I love it when people become unrealistic and then everything kind of starts to spiral out of control. I am here for that. Next, we have Mary Cosby. With a penchant for God, couture, and only the finest champagne, Mary Cosby is a Pentecostal first lady who inherited her family's empire of churches, restaurants, and more. The caveat in taking over the family's business was that she married her late grandmother's second husband, Robert Cosby Sr. Oh, that's a lot to unpack in that. They have been married for 20 years and have 1 teenage son together. Small but mighty and always dressed to the nines, her unconventional past has made her guarded, and she quickly finds herself on shaky ground with some of the ladies. That is a plot that I cannot wait to witness unfold before my eyes. Next, Heather Gay. A devout Mormon from birth, Heather Gay was married to Mormon royalty for 11 years, but has distanced herself from the church after her divorce. Side note, one thing that I'm really curious to know, and I could probably figure this out with a quick little Google search, but I'm going to wait for the show to air, is I want to know what Mormon royalty means. What is that? I would love to know. I do not know, and I can't wait to learn. Anyway, moving on, she had distanced herself from the church after her divorce, a self-proclaimed good Mormon gone bad. She now considers herself Mormon-ish, as she plays by her own rules. A devoted mother to 3 daughters, she owns a burgeoning med spa business, beauty lab, and laser, where the ladies often frequent. As she embarks on the next chapter of her life, Heather is on a journey of self-discovery as she finds her voice and looks for love again. Maybe she can marry into some more Mormon royalty. I don't know. Can't wait to find out. Next, we have Meredith Marks. Meredith Marks is a celebrity jewelry designer with a store on Main Street in Park City. Jewish and married for over 25 years, Meredith and her husband Seth have hit a rough patch, and with their kids in college, she is faced with being an empty nester for the first time in her life. An ice queen with a knack for partying, Meredith is often out in the social circle alongside Jen and Lisa, who love to buy her jewelry, even the rings off her fingers. Meredith appears to have it all, but when rumors begin to swirl, she must decide if she wants to turn to her girlfriends for support or suffer in silence. She sounds delightful. Cannot wait to see what kind of drama this all will cause. Next, we have Whitney Rose, a descendant of Mormon royalty. Again, I need to know what Mormon royalty is. Whitney Rose has been trying her best to navigate life outside of the religion for over a decade. She left the church after she fell madly in love with her boss, Justin, and the two had an affair. Within weeks, they both left their spouses to be with each other, and they got married. And when Whitney found out when she was pregnant, married for 10 years, they have 2 children, Bobby and Brooks. She owns a skincare line called Iris and Beau. Now she is faced with parenting her father, who is dealing with his own struggles and depends on her for everything. And just when it seems like society is finally beginning to accept her 10-year marriage, scandalous rumors about her progressive relationship start to swirl. I want to know what is so progressive about their relationship. Is it because they had an affair? Is it because she left a husband? Is it because she got pregnant and then got married? Or is there more stuff happening while the show is recorded? Oh my goodness, guys, I'm so excited. I live for this type of drama, by the way. It's so harmless. I just love it. Anyway, finally, we have Jen Shah. As a Tongan Hawaiian growing up in Salt Lake City, Jen Shah felt like she often stuck out in her traditionally white Mormon world. When she learned about the historical mistreatment of Black people in the Mormon religion, she converted from Mormonism to Islam. A mom of 2 with her husband, Sharif, Jen is the queen of her house and her businesses as the CEO of 3 marketing companies. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Always decked out in designer brands, Jen loves to host parties and spares no expense. It's important to her that everyone knows that she has the best house in Utah. With an extravagant personality and sharp tongue, she can go from 0 to 100 very quickly, but usually comes back with apologies and love. But it's not always fun and games for Jen with this group of women when she quickly finds herself at the center of the drama. The trailer is now available to watch, and guys, it looks like it is filled to the brim with drama, and I am loving all of the snowy vibes. I like snow like once, at least here in the Philadelphia area, but then like the next day it turns into this like brown gray sludge. But the snow like out in Utah is white and beautiful and pristine, and I very much enjoy. So guys, I am so excited to get lost in a new group of women. Salt Lake City, I will probably want to visit after like 3 episodes. I guarantee it. I still love Real Housewives of Beverly Hills so much. So let's just see if Salt Lake City can top it. So guys, that was it on Real Housewives news. We talked Kardashians. Next, this segment, we're going to be talking about happy couples, just happy vibes everywhere, friends. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back, my friends. We have had quite the episode. We have talked about the Kardashians. We talked about Bravo TV and the Real Housewives franchise. Next, I want to get into just some happy couple news. It's been a rough few months, so I would like to highlight just some couples who are going strong, who have been weathering the storm. The first one I am super interested in. I have a lot of thoughts. It's Zac Efron has a new girlfriend, Vanessa Valadares. The two have been photographed together at a beachside cafe in Lennox Head, Australia. Vanessa met Zac in June when she worked at the Byron Bay General Store and Cafe. Now imagine if you will, this girl had no clue that when she clocked into work that day, afternoon, whenever she clocked in, that that Zac Efron was just gonna walk his handsome self in and the two would just start hanging out. Imagine, because I cannot imagine. She is beautiful. He is handsome. I am living for this story. I am living for this couple. Good for them. Just good for them. I love that Zac is dating a normal girl. I love that. I mean, and she just walked into work. She was probably just like doing a thing. So this is like how it played out in my head. I could be totally wrong, but in my head, and this is most likely not what happened, but in my head, she's working the cafe, she's working the general store, she's working the cafe, maybe giving someone some coffee, maybe giving someone a Danish, probably dealing with a Karen. Thought, oh my God, table 26 doesn't have ranch dressing. Oh, I forgot the water for table 2. And then she goes to like table 21 and, oh, hey, Zac Efron, you handsome person. What's up? And like, what did he do? Did he ask for her Instagram handle? Did he ask for her TikTok? I mean, I know he didn't ask for her Facebook account. Did he leave his phone number on like the credit card slip? Did he write his number on a napkin? I have worked in the restaurant business for many years, and Zac Efron has not come into my store. So she won the lottery with that, but he also won the lottery. I mean, good for him for dating a nice, normal girl, a nice, normal, beautiful girl who works for what she has. I love it. I am here for it. I love it when they date like normal people. And I know celebrities are normal people, right? But to date someone who is not in the industry, you run the risk of them just being fans and being crazy, but he's like cool. Like they vibe, and I love that they vibe. I hope they get married. I hope they have many children. I hope they have grandchildren. I want nothing but the best for them. I hope they live their very best lives. And you know what? If they don't, that's okay. They're having fun, and that's okay too. I just want them both to be happy all the time. That's all I want for them. That's all I want. I don't think that's too much to ask. So that's that on Zac Efron. Good for her. Anyway, moving forward, some more happy couple news. Lily Allen and David Harbour just got hitched. Lily confirmed her marriage to the Stranger Things star by posting a series of photos of their Las Vegas wedding, complete with an Elvis impersonator. The wedding was at the Graceland Wedding Chapel, which is also where celebrities like John Bon Jovi and Billy Ray Cyrus have tied the knot. Not to each other, but like to their significant others. Rumors have been swirling over the pair's engagement ever since May, when Lily shared an Instagram photo and some eagle-eyed fans noticed that there was a ring on a certain finger. And now we need not speculate anymore. Lily also shared a photo of her enjoying some In-N-Out while wearing her Dior wedding dress, which is such a mood. I am living for it. The pair have been together since August of 2019, when David made a keen first impression by rocking a Lily Allen t-shirt on their first date. They have been able to really get to know each other lately as the two have spent quarantine together and recently shared some adorable photos with Lily's 2 children, whom she shares with ex-husband Sam Cooper. According to the court records obtained by People, the wedding itself took place on September 7th. So a huge congratulations for this happy couple. I love that they did such a low-key wedding. I think that is such a vibe right now, especially with everything going on with COVID, and there's so many restrictions and it differs from state to state. I think a lot of brides would just love to elope and do something like that, especially the In-N-Out burger. I'll take any burger, right? Like I'll be happy with Wendy's. I'll be happy with some McDonald's. Not mad at all. She looked fantastic. I love that Dior suit. It was so beautiful. She looked stunning. They both looked just glowing and so happy. I'm very thrilled for the two of them. Again, that low-key type of wedding just shows what kind of people they really are. Hollywood, you don't have to be showy and glitzy and glamorous. They're just regular people who just love each other. And it's not about how big the party is. It's about the love that they have for one another and the life that they're going to create moving forward. So beautiful. Again, I don't know how many different ways I can say that I am thrilled for the two. So yay Lily Allen, yay David Harbour. Proud of you. So finally, and I'm definitely seeing a theme that I didn't know was a theme as I was plotting out the happy couples, but it's a lot of just like celebrities and normal things. So Katie Holmes is enjoying her time with her rumored new man. On Sunday, the 41-year-old actress was spotted kissing New York City-based chef Emilio Vitolo Jr. while out in Manhattan with her arms draped around his shoulders, according to People. The pair pulled down their face masks for the PDA-packed moment. Well, I kind of had 2 thoughts on this. One, I assume they've been spending quarantine together. I appreciate that they were out wearing masks. I appreciate that they took the mask down so they could swap spit. Like, so cute. So cute. Second, I'm really curious as to why paparazzi is following Katie Holmes and a chef. I'm just really curious. It could be because they were spotted together last week in Soho, so maybe they're kind of like on the trail a little bit, but it kind of seems like someone called paparazzi, maybe, or someone in their camp. I just don't know how this moment would have been caught. You know, no one's really like clamoring over Katie Holmes content. At least I don't think that they are, but I could be wrong. I have been wrong about other things, so I could be wrong about this. If the paparazzi were there naturally, it's because of the dinner the week before. If that is not the case, I guarantee you someone either in Katie's camp or Emilio's definitely contacted paparazzi. They want the story out there, especially since she has been so private with her relationship that she had with Jamie Foxx. I mean, we barely saw those two together. We obviously saw her together with Tom Cruise, her ex-husband, which they share a daughter, Suri Cruise, who, by the way, is 14. Can you believe that? I cannot. I am so shook that Suri is 14 years old. Time just keeps moving forward, and I just keep getting older. Guys, if you don't think that you are going to get older one day, you are in for a rude awakening. But anyway, I am getting so off topic. So yeah, I wish her the absolute best in her relationship moving forward. I hope, if anything, she's having a great time, you know, just like Zach and Vanessa. I am so thrilled that everyone that I've talked about. I love that they're happy and in love and enjoying themselves, because you know what? This has been a really rough year and we all deserve some love. We all deserve to smile. And if that is what's happening with these couples, then God bless. I am so thrilled for everyone involved. I know quarantining can be tough. It could wreak havoc on a lot of relationships, but it could also bring people closer together. And that's what it seems like it has done for these couples right here. So yay, happy couples, proud of everyone. I hope everyone's having a great time. And so anyway, guys, that is it for all of the celebrity news. Like I said, it was a lot. I didn't want to get too deep with anything that was heavy. Again, I wanted the show to be much more lighthearted and fun. I do have some stories already lined up for next week that I would like to discuss, but that is for another episode. Next up on this episode, however, I am going to be rating my favorite of the Kardashian Jenner characters. I'm calling them characters because it's pretty much just based off of what I see on TV. And I obviously do not know any of these women personally. I don't know what they are like. I am sure they are all wonderful, but I have to have a list. And so you have to fall somewhere on the list. So guys, be right back. I cannot wait. Maybe you'll agree with me. So you'll have to let me know, but can't wait to share. Bye.
Golden State Media Concepts bring you Book Review Podcast, a haven for bookworms of all ages and the widest genres, from mystery to memoirs, romance to comedy, fantasy to sci-fi. If you love to read, this is the podcast for you. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Book Review Podcast.
Okay, friends, welcome to my favorite part of the episode. It's when I get to share a little bit about myself with you guys. It's been a hectic episode, right? Like there's been a lot. We talked happy couple news. We talked the Real Housewives franchise, and we started with the Kardashians. So I feel like it's appropriate to end with the Kardashians. So I just want to preface this that it is just for fun. At the end of the day, I do respect all of these women. They are all such hard workers. But this is just based off of what I see on TV. Much love for all the women involved. So let's start. There's 6. So let's just start from the top. My least favorite, and I hate saying that, but it's got to be Kendall. It's got to be Kendall Jenner. And it's only because she doesn't really give me much to work with. And so that's why she's last. She's pretty. She's very pretty. But that's all that I gather from her. I mean, she likes basketball players and she likes cars. So there's that. So I cannot relate to her on any level. She looks phenomenal. She's gorgeous. I don't really care for cars. And I never dated a basketball player. But that's all I get from her. She's super, super private, which I totally respect. When I think of Kendall, I think of the early seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians when she first wanted to model and Kim really took her under her wing. And Kendall was not having it. Like, if we think back to the beginning, the walk, it was like work. And I didn't really like that attitude. It really put a poor taste in my mouth that I've had a really hard time getting rid of. I'm not going to lie. And because she looked at modeling like it was just so much work and she just didn't want to do all the work. And it drove me nuts. It drove me insane. But she clearly got over that. She is a incredibly successful model and you have to work hard to do it. I'm glad that she came around and did decide to really pursue that passion. I cannot say with a lot of certainty that being a Kardashian Jenner didn't really help. I'm sure she had to, prove that she was good, but she didn't have, I don't believe, and I could be wrong, but I don't think she had to work as hard as people who are coming from the middle of nowhere that don't know the right people, that don't have the right connections or the connections that she had and the family that she had. She really owes everything to the show. And this is what I was saying before. You have to feed the mothership. I mean, you wouldn't have your career without it, or at least have gotten there so quickly without it. So that is how I feel about that. But again, I do respect her. She does work hard. She's gorgeous and just delightful. I do not understand the pink orb in her house, but that's about it. Next, so number, 5 is Courtney. Oh my gosh. Courtney is so, in my opinion, annoying. I just can't with Courtney. And when I heard that the Kardashians were ending, I blamed Courtney for a hot second. I don't understand her. I really, really don't. She doesn't allow us to understand her. I think all she does is whine and complain. And I understand setting boundaries, but she doesn't respect anybody else. Like, it's so much the world revolves around Courtney. I mean, yes, she gave us some incredible quotes while being on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, like the iconic when Kim lost her diamond earring and Courtney says there are people dying. She was right. She was absolutely correct. I really enjoyed Courtney a lot more when she was with Khloe. The two seemed to have so much fun, but she just, I don't know. There's a stereotype about like Los Angeles and people from LA, and I say that very delicately. But she embodies all of it. She literally embodies all of it. And I think that's why I find her someone I could not and won't relate to. It's just different coasts, and that's really it. But I hope that she finds her boundaries. I don't know what kind of boundaries she's setting for herself, because her and Addison Rae are just glued to the hip, and Addison Rae has such a young audience. Like, so Courtney, are you trying to stay relevant? Are you not? I'm just very confused as to what your priorities are, and you will not let us understand you. But you're right. Boundaries. So, moving on. I'm going to go with Kylie for this one. And I understand that she is a lot of people's favorite, especially with Gen Zers. I respect the business lines, but the flaunting of the wealth, I am just not down for that. And unfortunately, that knocks off a few points. What she has done with makeup and the cosmetic world is absolutely incredible. Again, she would not have that success if it were not for Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She owes that show her $1 billion. She does. I mean, she was very smart in what she did with her platform. She found her niche audience and she just dove headfirst right in. She's absolutely stunning. But I just feel like maybe there's too much of a gap. I'm not a Gen Zer, I'm a millennial. So, and I don't wear makeup like how she does. I am not her target audience. I actually unfollowed her on Instagram because the flaunting of the wealth was just way too much for me. When you have that much influence, and again, this is probably just like an age gap thing or how I was raised or how I think. But I think when you have that much influence over a generation, it's incumbent on you to do something good with it. And I think that is something that she is lacking. To flaunt your wealth like that, the way the world is right now, I don't really care for. And that's her prerogative. But that's why I unfollowed her. I think she's smart. I think she is beautiful. I think she is a wonderful mother. I completely respect how she kept her entire pregnancy a secret. And by the way, that just goes to show that if you want something kept private, you totally can. Just think about that the next time any news leaks about any famous person. So anyway, back to Kylie. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I respect about her, but it's the flaunting of the wealth for me. Can't do it. I can't keep up with that. So that is my opinion on Kylie. So the top three were pretty rough. They were hard, but I'm going to go with Kris Jenner next. She's the matriarch of the family. She loves a good martini. I love her sense of humor. I love her family values. Did she sell a sex tape of her daughter for success? But look at what it has accomplished. She is a smart woman, that Kris Jenner, and how she manages her children wonderfully. I mean, she has made them all so stinking rich. I mean, there's always those memes, the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. Now that is something she should trademark for sure. Like, that's incredible. So for that, I just mad respect to her. Next up is Kim Kardashian. I really had a turning around on how I feel about Kim. When the show first started airing, I absolutely despised Kim. I did not like her at all. She was definitely, in my opinion, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm wondering if she was playing into the same kind of character that Paris Hilton played into, with his like a little ditzy, like super Hollywood glamour. And so I didn't really care for her. I did not find her relatable at all. But as the seasons went on and she really got a handle of herself and her success in her career and all of the opportunities that were coming for the show, she just worked it so well. And people do not give Kim Kardashian the credit that she deserves. She is so smart. She has done what every other reality TV star has been unable to do. Whether they wanted the success or not, like, she clearly wanted the success and she did everything in her power to get what she wanted. And I have no choice but to respect that. And even now, following in her father's footsteps to become a lawyer and to be an advocate is just, there's so much respect. These are things I could never do. I think she's using her platform for good. And this was my complaint about Kylie. But again, Kylie is still very, very young. She has a long, long way to go and a lot of growing up to do. I mean, Kim wasn't like this now when she was Kylie's age, but Kim is using her platform. She's using it for good. She is very intelligent with what she chooses to put out there, what she chooses to stay private. She's so succinct with her words. The one thing I can't get behind is her feud with Taylor Swift, because I love Taylor Swift, but I love Kim and I just don't know where to stand. And I just stand right in the middle because I don't know which way to go with their feud. I wish they weren't feuding. I wish I could have them both over for dinner. They are both smart women. I don't know why they hate each other so much, unless it's all an act. You never know. I don't think it is, though. But anyway, Kim Kardashian doesn't get the respect that she deserves. Love her or hate her, she's smart, and you cannot deny that. And then finally, coming in at number one, my absolute favorite Kardashian, and that is Khloe. She is the comedic relief. She does not take herself too seriously. I am always rooting for her. When I found out when she released that she was pregnant, I was Christmas shopping. I was in Express and I almost started crying. Like, who am I? I am a lunatic. That's what I am. But I was just so happy for her because that was the life that she has wanted and she got it. And everything that she went through with Lamar, so incredibly heartbreaking. I wish her nothing but success moving forward. I think Good American is the perfect product line for her. I would love to see her do something else. I wish a talk show with her would actually work out. But she's just incredible. She's just so not like 100% that LA stereotype. She's so real. She's so funny. I mean, how she talks about her sisters and of like Sky is just, I just laugh every time. And I really loved watching her on the Home Edit show. I think Getting Organized with the Home Edit. She was on an episode because they came in and organized her garage, which was gorgeous. But she has all this stuff and the cars, and I love how she loves to stay organized. I respect that because I am the same way. I color code everything. I like everything in like clear boxes so I can see it. I love that Chloe is like me in that. So maybe it's because I see myself in Chloe is why I love her so, so much. I'm really going to miss seeing her on TV. I really am. She's such a spectacular woman. Maybe she'll get a spinoff show. I think that would be great. Maybe I would love, actually, side note, I would love to own a piece of Khloe Kardashian art. So Chloe, if you are listening, if you want to send over a painting, I will, I don't really have any artistic talent. I don't have a lot of money, so I don't know what I can do in return, but I will always promise to talk so highly of you on podcasts. I just love you so much. But anyway, that is that on the Kardashians. I am going to miss them. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the season as it airs. And then that's really it. We won't really be keeping up with them anymore. Unless they have something up their sleeve, which I wouldn't be surprised. Kris Jenner's a smart woman. So guys, that is the show today. I hope we enjoyed our time together. I know that I did. Until next time, guys, I am Jessica, and thank you for listening to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I would like to ask that you please remember to subscribe to the show and write a beautiful and glowing review that really helps us out. Also, if you could please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, I would really appreciate it. Swing by and say hello. So thanks, guys, so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, afternoon, morning, whatever time of day it is where you are. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.